guys, so my name is Gabby and welcome back to my YouTube channel. A couple weeks ago I posted in the community tab and I asked you guys if you had any questions for me about my Appalachian Trail thru hike. Several of you responded and all of you had great questions. In today's video I want to take some time to answer those questions and talk a little bit about my 2022 Appalachian Trail thru hike. So let's go ahead and get started. The very first question was, how do you feel about starting the trail alone, and do you have any safety concerns? So before I answer this question, I just want to start off by saying that I did have full intentions of starting the Appalachian Trail by myself, but since then I met someone in my local community who is also planning a 2022 Appalachian Trail thru hike, and her and I have agreed to start the trail together. In addition to starting the trail with the person that I found from my community, my boyfriend also lives here at Fontana Village, and I expect him to probably come join me at certain times throughout my hike. Depending on the weather when I start the trail, he also may start with me for a couple days and then come home after that. Anyways, if I did start the trail by myself, I would of course have some nerves just from the newness of the hike and getting out there, but I don't think I really have any fears in regard to hiking by myself. I live in western North Carolina now, basically just a mile from the Appalachian Trail, and I go hiking by myself all the time. I'm also bringing my Zoleo satellite communicator device, so if anything were to go wrong, I can get into contact with my family and also search and rescue. While not everyone will bring one of these devices, it was a personal choice and I did decide to do it for my safety. Okay, so question number 2 is, how does your family feel about you hiking the trail? So when I told my family that I was thru hiking this year, I was actually really surprised that none of them were really concerned or worried about me hiking. I spent most of this past summer backpacking, and I think they got used to me being out on trail and hiking and camping. While they didn't really express any concerns, I'm sure they are worried about me and I'm sure they don't fully understand, but I'm very fortunate that they are supportive. Okay, so question number 3 is, do you feel physically and mentally prepared for your thru hike? So this is an interesting question. I would say the answer to this question is yes and no. In general, I'm a physically fit person. I go running, I try to work out as much as possible, but I also know that thru hiking the Appalachian Trail is really hard. I have hiked the approach trail at Amicalola Falls State Park before, and I will admit that it kicked my butt. So even though I am in decent shape for my thru hike, I know that I'm going to be really sore in the beginning, really tired, and I also don't plan on doing huge days. When I first start out, I plan on hiking between 8 and 10 miles a day, just until my body adjusts to being out there. So the next side of this question is, are you mentally prepared? Just like the physical part, I would say yes and no. Because I've gone backpacking on the Appalachian Trail several times, I've hiked in the rain, I've hiked in the cold, and I've also hiked in the heat, I do know that backpacking is really hard mentally. To prepare for the hike mentally, I've mainly been thinking about the reasons why I want to hike the Appalachian Trail in the first place. At the same time, if I get to a bad mental space during my thru hike, I will come home if needed. While thru hiking is my dream, I also know that it's not worth being miserable every single day. Okay, so next question. What section of trail are you looking forward to the most? I have to say, this is probably one of the hardest questions that I got for this video. I am really looking forward to climbing over Blood Mountain, reaching McAfee Knob, doing the White Mountains, and then also doing the 100-mile wilderness in Maine. While there are so many amazing spots along the Appalachian Trail, I think the part that I'm looking forward to the most is right here in my own backyard. So I live in Fontana, North Carolina, which is actually where the Appalachian Trail crosses through. I have backpacked almost entirely between Franklin, North Carolina and Fontana Village, and because I've done this part before, I'm really looking forward to doing it on my thru hike. One of my favorite spots in this section is actually the jump off going into the Nantahala Outdoor Center. If any of you all have hiked that section before, you know that there is absolutely amazing views, and for a good portion of the trail you walk on this little tiny ridge with views all around you. So while there are many parts of the trail that I'm looking forward to, I think that that part is going to be the part that I'm looking forward to the most. Alright, so now on to question number 5. How often do you plan on publishing videos? So during my thru hike, I plan on filming and publishing a daily vlog. You guys will start seeing those videos about a week or two after I start the trail, and then I plan on uploading every single day after that. While that is my plan, it's important to keep in mind that plans do change. There could be a part where I just don't have cell phone service, I don't have enough time to upload a video, or I just get behind. If that happens, I will keep you all updated in the community tab, and I promise that they will keep coming as soon as I'm able to edit and upload them. Next question. Are you going to be doing the approach trail? So when I first started planning my Appalachian Trail thru hike, I went back and forth on whether or not I was going to do the approach trail. I've done the approach trail before, and once you get past the Amicalola Falls, there's really not much to see until you reach Springer Mountain. While I did see some benefits from skipping the approach trail and starting at Springer Mountain, ultimately I did decide that I'm going to do the approach trail. The main reasons why I want to do the approach trail is because I want to sign in at Amicalola Falls Visitor Center, I want to get my hiker tag, and I want to get that picture of me walking through the arch. So even though the approach trail is hard, I do think it adds to the experience, and I do really want to do it before starting my thru hike. Alright, so on to question number 7. What is your reason for hiking the trail? I did make a whole video about why I want to thru hike the Appalachian Trail, so I'm going to answer this question a little bit briefly, but if you want to hear more about that, be sure to go and check out that video. So some of the biggest reasons why I want to thru hike the Appalachian Trail is really just to gain more confidence in myself, make new friends, and then also for the physical challenge. I grew up just miles from the Appalachian Trail, so I've pretty much known about it my whole life. Here in Western North Carolina, there's not a ton of things to do on the weekend, so I would spend a lot of my time hiking and being outdoors. I love being outside, and I can't wait to get back to that while on the Appalachian Trail. So the very last question is, did you deal with having a hard time making up your mind to do this, and did you ever go back and forth with it? So the answer to that question is definitely yes. It was really hard for me to decide to thru hike the Appalachian Trail. I spent a lot of time this summer backpacking on the Appalachian Trail, and I know that it's really hard. I remember my very first backpacking trip was climbing up to Chioa Bald. If any of you are familiar with that climb, you know that that is a very tough one. After that climb, in my head, I was thinking there is no way I could ever thru hike the Appalachian Trail. But after that first backpacking trip, I was hooked and I knew that I had to do more. If you are struggling to make the decision to thru hike the Appalachian Trail, I would say definitely know that that's completely normal. The Appalachian Trail is a very large undertaking and it definitely can be intimidating. With that being said, just try to get out there and backpack as much as you can, make sure that it's something that you enjoy, and just keep in mind that if you start the Appalachian Trail, you can always get off the trail if you aren't having fun. Alright guys, so that is it for this YouTube video. I just want to thank you all again for asking all these amazing questions and just for being so nice and so supportive in the comments. In next week's video, I will be going over my training for the Appalachian Trail, so make sure you guys come back and check out that video. I will be starting my thru hike within the next month or so, and I will let you guys know when those vlogs will start coming out. Once again, thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next week. Bye!